Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
A very good morning to you. This is Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And joining me this morning is Mr. Rona Hetiarachi, the Executive Director of PAFRO, People's Action for Free and Fair Elections. Very good morning to you, Mr. Hetiarachi.
Good morning.
It's wonderful having you on our program. March the 12th movement, what's happened to it? Are you happy with it? It's over a year now.
Well, we were happy in the past with some sort of success during the elections period, but actually considering the present situation in the country and the present political situations, we are not really happy with the present movement, because what we expected from the politicians during the elections period, and even they were promised certain things, but unfortunately nothing happened in the last 1.5 years. And also the behavior of the political party as well as the politicians, also we are not happy with they are not fulfilled the Marshall criteria.
Well, yes, I for the life of me can't see much change. Having said that, I'm going to have to acknowledge what is fact, and that is that today we enjoy a huge difference in the freedom of speech and the media and so on. We are not under those white van kind of threats. We acknowledge that, and you know, the Prime Minister has led the way, which is good. But you know, for example, the issue of these duty-free permits to these ministers, why the need for that? There's no change. It was the same as the previous and the previous and the previous. So there's absolutely no change. So you've had your March 12th declaration on our Think Again program.
Exactly, yeah.
We've been around, and I've been to 3 different locations in different parts of the country, and I did not honestly hear anybody say that they're happy with the person that they've elected. What they say when you put it to them and say, but you elected them, they say, well, you know, we've had a limited amount of people and we had to choose from them. I think what they're saying is the choice is amongst poor, bad people, and so we'd have to choose between the best of that. Which, how can we change that system?
Yeah, for us, I think that is the most the serious issue actually. I think that is what the people also said.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a choice unless the political parties fail to select the proper people.
Right.
What happened the last time was that even though the party has endorsed the March 12 criteria, and they was agreed to follow the March 12 criteria for the nominations, but unfortunately they were not seriously considered that.
Right.
What happened was then they were selected the same guys as a candidate, and the poor, the citizens of the country, poor voters, they had to select out of the list.
Yeah.
So they didn't have much choice during the elections period. But for us, I think the upcoming local elections now, it will be more dangerous, because the system is completely changed now.
Right.
We are going for the mixed system and completely list system. So the political parties will prepare the list, and if you vote for one specific party, then whoever in the list will get elected. Let's say those who support for UNP, if they vote for the UNP party, so whoever in the list prepared by the party leaders, or rather district level leaders, so he or she will get elected. So the voters doesn't have any choice for upcoming local elections.
I see.
So that is why we need to pressure the political party, of course, for the upcoming local elections. So there should be some sort of criteria for selecting candidate. We are not pressing the party for us for March 12 criteria. So of course it's a good criteria setup.
Good standard.
Good stand. But whatever the criteria, they should produce, they should say public, okay, these are the criteria which we are considering for the upcoming local elections, then the people, at least people can challenge if they are not fulfill the criteria. So I think in the upcoming elections, you also has to take some sort of the media awareness for the public, as well as we need to pressure the political party, because the last minute we don't have any options. Because I heard that these days most of the political parties, they are selecting their candidate. So we need to pressure the party for take some sort of standard qualifications for the local elections.
But aren't you disturbed, or how disturbed are you, when we have the head of our government, our Prime Minister, who seems to have this, I don't know how to describe it really, shall I call it an unholy fascination with Mr. Arjuna Mahendran? This is the man who the Auditor General says has acted unprofessionally, for want of a better word, okay? Those are not the exact terms, but he does call into question a failure in his primary duty of care, and that he didn't act as expected of a governor of the central bank. Now this is a very important role, this head of the central bank, and then you've more or less been publicly told off. And yet, here we have it, the top story in the Daily Mirror, a top post for Mahendran. He's being flaunted, I would say unashamedly. Well, what's going on? Why can't, it looks like the Prime Minister hasn't even heard of your March the 12th declaration.
So actually this is the sad part. I think perhaps earlier, the last regime, we were discussing about the family politics.
Yeah.
Now again, not maybe the family politics, but the friends.
Yes, this is the friends politics.
This is friends politics. Whatever the charges, but there was a lot of allegations against this central bank governor. So at least the Prime Minister need to consider the people's voice.
But it's obvious that the Prime Minister is not considering it, because he goes on by saying that, you can't change the governor because it is no illegality proved and so on. He's missing the point. Yeah. He's lost the confidence of the people.
Of course, and also I heard that the former governor said that until he clear up these things, he will not get any positions. I don't know what is his stand for now, because he himself, I saw some of the media's.
That's right, but I think he said he was talking about his role at the central bank. But he's finished at the central bank. There's billions of rupees worth of money lost. Yeah. And the Auditor General, with all due respect, he says that the initial loss calculated around 1.8 billion. But, Mr. Etiarach, if I tell you that in the time that his son-in-law's company was given the license, and just 2 or 3 months before the end of the Rajapaksa term, he did 27 million rupees worth of business with the central bank. In the 5 months when his father-in-law became the governor, the amount of business he did in 5 months was 1,902 million. That's a huge increase in the take-up from that one company. It could be a coincidence, and it could not. Who knows? But those are the figures. And as the Auditor General says, he went by the figures. And now we have a situation where the Auditor General is being told off. Do you think there's a connection between that and this?
Of course, there could be. I mean, at least we have some doubt about that, because in generally the business sector, so it can't happen. I mean, within very short a period, how they can go for that high level business without having a proper experience, especially we are talking about the central bank of the country, and this is the people's money, and they just appoint as to overlook and also guided and control the Sri Lankan money, Prime Minister as well as the governor. So they can't work like this. So it's really they're damaging the country.
I mean, they have all the benefits. I mean, I'd love to know who is paying Mr. Mahendran for doing this job. He's going to be heading some unit where he's going to be in charge of this very lofty ideal 1 million jobs program and so on. But surely his reputation now needs to be rebuilt.
Of course, yes, of course. And I don't know why the Prime Minister wanted to appoint him again and again, because there is enough government officers and the Sri Lankan citizens.
Indeed, as we can see with the appointment of Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy.
Of course.
He's patently acceptable by all sides.
Yeah.
And that is because people recognize his talent of being independent and a fine economist. So they're willing to give him that space. I'm wondering why the Prime Minister missed the boat when appointing the first governor in the first place.
I think because of the friendship. Maybe it's in the same class. I don't know, otherwise there's no reasons, because there's enough government officers if he want to appoint in higher positions. So he don't want to concern about only on one person's, because he, as you said, that his reputation is gone now. So it takes time to build up that. So I mean they are playing with the people.
Indeed.
They are playing with the sovereignty.
On that note, we'll take a short break and come back and discuss further matters that are affecting you, the public. Do stay tuned. After all, this is Newsline. Welcome back to Newsline. Mr. Hettiarachchi, the newspaper is a good, this is a good idea of what's happening around here. 3 people caught attempting to smuggle foreign currency worth 166 million rupees. That's over $1 million. What's going on? Where is this fiscal management? What's the monetary monitoring unit doing? I mean, this is an indication of the amount of black money that is floating around. Over $1 million in cash out of an emerging economy.
Yeah. But I think this is not the first time which we have noticed this. I noticed in the last couple of years also,
Yeah.
the same thing is happening. But as you said, that this is, of course, this could be a black money.
Well, it can't be anything else,
Yeah.
Rodney, could it? Because if it was, why would you be carrying cash around? You'd go to your bank and ask them to wire it to the other side. If it was all legal and kosher, then you'd be able to do that.
And easily they can declare at the airport also.
Of course.
And they can carry the money.
Yeah.
Once they declare that, I think officially they can do that.
Yes.
But because of the black money, you can't open up. So I think that is the reasons. But what is the behind that? That is what
Yes,
we want
that's
to.
what's behind it.
Yeah.
We're told that this money was headed towards the Gulf, but on a flight meant to go to the Gulf anyway. It's astonishing. Then we have another story where the former Minister of Economic Development has now he's now had to be hospitalized. It must be. So one of the papers said a back pain. Now, is it always when he gets remanded? And why is it that these people keep getting remanded and then sent out again?
That is the joke actually.
It is.
It is really joke now. I mean, this the going to FCID, CID. Some of them are get arrested the next day morning, or maybe the same day. They will not. They will go for the hospital. So, but this is only for the politicians. I think there is something secret. We need to check on that.
Yeah.
So, whenever the politician get arrested, immediately they will fall ill. So, but then again, it is only for the national politicians. But unfortunately, the local level or maybe the provincial level, they will not get ill.
Right.
So, this is really joke. This is really joke. And I don't know how doctors also playing with this. So once they get out from the jail, they will be all right, and they will address the media. They will do the day-to-day.
I spoke to a senior retired legal man yesterday. He said to me, he said, that he's very unhappy. I asked him why, and he said, well, the police are proceeding without complaints. There's no complaints, but they are looking at things. Which seems odd, because you need a complaint. In certain cases, you need a complaint to start with. Do you get the impression that the judiciary isn't quite yet independent?
Well, it was not in the past. Even now, I'm not 100% sure. But before the court proceedings, there is the legal proceeding with the police and maybe the CID. So that is now the trust of these the system and also the structures. So it's not really the people trust, because every day we notice that one or two guys going to visit the FCID and giving statement. The next day, immediately couple of hours, so they will go without having any problems. I don't know what they said in the elections time. They said that they have enough evidence and also quite serious matters, but
it looks like they fooled the people.
Exactly. So otherwise, they should have some firm decisions or firm legal actions against these people. But we did not see any single case up to now. So people realize this is really political game, and also this is kind of joke. So I think this is bad for the police department also. So
we have all sorts of statements. There are ministers predicting that these people will be arrested and so on and so forth. Even if it's true, I think we don't expect a minister or whoever to say such things, because it appears that our legal system is being compromised.
Exactly. The people will feel that the political interferences. Not only the government ministers. I noticed last night one of the news that even the opposition groups, so they are expecting a couple of their people are going to be arrested.
That's right.
So this is really the political game. I don't know. I can't see anything beyond that. Because now it's almost 1.5 years or nearly two years now.
Yeah.
So if they have some evidence, they can take some proper actions. So when I asked some of the ministers why they are not taking a proper action, they said that we can't play like previous government. We have to take step by step and proceedings. But I can't see that, because it's too much of time now. So people lose the trust with this FCID and also this game, unless within shorter period, if they are able to do the firm case, at least one or two guys. So maybe the politicians, maybe the government officials. The government officials also allegation in the last regime.
But we have the case where this minister, the ministry secretary, has raised some concern or other, and a few days later he's transferred out. He's not exactly whiter than white, but and there are allegations that he did nothing about various complaints that came to him in the previous 12 months, as Kirti Tennakoon pointed out the other day. But the point is that if he is raising a concern, it is not good governance, is it, to transfer him out? It sounds as though, or looks like, well, because he raised his voice, he's been transferred out.
No, for us, actually, I am the one who really pressed the former minister, Aru Jayasuriya, to appoint the committee after the elections, because we noticed that there are a lot of the government resources were abused, misused during the elections period. So I am the one who really pressed the minister, and also I am the one who really draft the TOR for the committee during that period. But unfortunately, after the investigations, they were not released the report, and I think there was a clear information how the resources are misused by the couple of government officers. They may not directly, but at least indirectly.
Yeah.
And some cases, yes, it's directly with their knowledge. So what happened was, after 1.5 years, the Kirti sent the letter asking the report, and at the same time they were appointed one government officer as an additional secretary. He was alleged during the elections period. Not only one case, there are a couple of cases. But unfortunately, the relevant government secretary is a public administration. He was not taken the proper actions. And finally he has given a statement, or rather interview, to the media. So actually, as a monitoring body, I surprised that his statement, because he was trying to say that the government policy oriented the program like Samurdhi, Dibinaguma, and he's trying to compare with the Silred issue. That is a clearly election one candidate motivated programs. So he's trying to compare with these both as the government policy oriented programs. So I actually can't understand that kind of the senior government officer is a secretary, is very experienced person. How we can say something like that?
I think your inability to understand and comprehend what he's saying is the same as most of the people in this country who cannot understand why on earth this chap, Arjuna Mahendran, is being so favoured by one man. It's the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. It is the example. You've got to lead by example. So when we have the Prime Minister engaging in something that you know, civil society and so on, can't understand, then it is no surprise that you cannot understand and comprehend what the Secretary was trying to do. You know, so there's a cover-up going on everywhere.
Exactly. There are many, not just one example. There are many in the last 1.5 years. So I don't know what kind of change, but as you said, that we respect and we believe that the freedom of expression is there.
Right. Well, very quickly, as we come to the end of our program this morning, how should the people vote? What should they do at these upcoming local elections?
I think for the upcoming local elections, the voters need to pressurize their district level leaders to select the proper people, because on the elections they are helpless. Right. So now actually the next week we are going to meet Mallatu and Askiri Nayakatero and also all other religious leaders and also the party leaders, pressing them to prepare a kind of criteria, or at least consider the martial criteria for selecting the upcoming local elections, because the upcoming system will be completely list system. So the whole responsibility will go with the party.
Wonderful. So on that note, do think carefully. Thank you very much, Mr. Rona Hitirachi, for being on our program. Thank you very much for watching. Do join us, same time, same place, every Monday through to Friday, 7 o'clock, only on TV1. Take care and God bless.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.